My name is Mrs. Adetutu Banjo. I live at, this is my husband's residence, and I've been living here for the last 25 years now with my husband. What happened was that last year, due to road expansion, Rusco Resources Nigeria Limited was the contractor. So they called us to a meeting with Lagos State government at the Ministry of Physical Planning, that they want to move in our fence, and they mark the places they want to move in, and my shop was partly affected. So, and they promised that they will not pay compensation, but every structure affected they will restore. So they didn't come. They came to do the wall at a particular time. They came to plaster it at a particular time, but they didn't do my shop. So I keep pressurizing them, they have to do my shop. So the MD keep promising me that they will do the shop. I shouldn't worry. The MD and the engineer at Ministry of Transportation. So they keep promising me that they would rebuild the wall, and they will rebuild the shop. In March, anyway, they came in March. They promised that they are starting work. They will start work soon. On 7th or 8th of March, they started work to rebuild the shop. And they were still working on it. They finished. The roofing was done on the 26th of March. On Saturday, 3rd of April, I was inside there, so my girl called me that there are some people outside. I went outside. I met two officials of LAPSCA. Their name is Balogun and Sabala or something. I can't remember the second person's name. And they pasted papers there, notices, and they marked. I said, this shop is being rebuilt by government. They said, government call government. I said, okay. But during the stakeholders meeting, the representative of the Commissioner for Physical Planning said if I have any problem, I should come back to him. I went and I saw the commissioner. That on 6th of April, which was the first working day of that week, because there was Easter break, I went to the commissioner's office. I was still in the commissioner's office. He was in a meeting when I got there. So I was still at his office when this lapsed, and they gave me 7 days notice that they will pull down the shop if we didn't come to see them. The first working day of that week, they came and they pulled down the shop. I was still in the commissioner's office. So I told the commissioner that they've called me from home that they are pulling down the shop. The commissioner called the GM that who are those people working at Allen Junction, that he should stop them. And I don't know what transpired, but I know that when I got home, the shop has been demolished. And not only the shop, the perimeter fence of my house was demolished. They exposed me. Since 6th of April, this structure has been there like that. And I'm a widow. I live all alone in this house.
We shall resist this oppression, being the text of an address to the press by Additional Ogulan Esquire and my humble self on the abuse of powers and citizens' oppression by the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LAPSCA. This address is delivered here today at 24th of June 2021 at number 1 Arume Street, Ikeja, Lagos. We welcome most respectfully the members of the 4th Estate to this press conference organized at the behest and in aid of our client, Mrs. Adetutu Banjo, at this our home and our residence at 1 Arume Street, Ikeja, Lagos. This press conference is actually a cry out against perceived and brazen oppression of a citizen by an agency of the Lagos State government, now getting increasingly famous, the Lagos State Building Control Agency, LAPSCA. Many Lagosians, not just Mrs. Banjo, have nasty stories of these agencies to tell in their various interactions with them. It appears that officials of the agency have turned the reasonable noble goals of the agency into instruments of extortionate operations. The primary aim of LAPSCA, as can be gleaned from the law setting it up, is to regulate and secure the construction and renovation of structures along top-grade safety standards and protocols. All essentials, these things are essentials to save lives and to minimize the loss of lives and damage to property. Unfortunately, however, officials of LAPSCA have become notorious all over the state by using their office to harass, oppress, intimidate, and destroy structures, all in a bid either to outrightly extort money from their victims, who could be landlords, developers, etc., in the name of ensuring the compliance with the regulatory law. They have also become hired guns for some members of the public, like very conscienceless developers, property disputants, aggrieved landlords seeking evictions of tenants by way of shortcuts. Well, let me explain what I mean here. You see, these LAPSCA people, under the guise that they want to enforce the law, actually lend themselves out. They become like mercenaries to private people, citizens, who go ahead and hire them to achieve what we call in law malicious purpose. Was any purpose outside of the law and see that justice is done, or due procedure or due process, is malice in law. And so you find private landlords who want to eject tenants. By all means, they will go and report to them, and then they will come and start demolishing property. And you have the situations of some developers who want to clear out some people too. People are disputing property within the family. There could be a family dispute over inheritance, and you find people feel they are connected in Lagos State with agencies like LAPSCA. They will go there, instigate them, as in this particular case it will appear to us, and come here and try to flush people out or take over this property if in favour of one person or the other. Lagosians number several thousands have fallen victims to the dastard shenanigans and antics of these irresponsible officials of state. These urban guerrillas and terrorist technique of operation, their system, I call them urban guerrillas, and they are agents of terror. Because imagine you come to somebody's property suddenly with cranes, with bulldozers, with tractors, and you begin to break it down. Their methods include the following. They will clandestinely swoop on construction sites or buildings to place notices without any prior investigation or invitation to the owner or occupier of the properties. They will just wake up one morning, or some people will just alert you that they have put something, or they have put some marking. Who these people are, you don't know. Now they can take a second step. Sometimes the notices are stripped off by these unscrupulous officials after taking photographs of same on the wall of the building, where the spurious notices, where in instances where these spurious notices are not removed, the officials will not wait for the stipulated time stipulated in their own notices before they come crashing on the property. So for example, they place it here today and say within 7 days, when the 4th day or the 3rd day or the 5th day, they will just come. And of course, what do they want? The people who occupy the house or who are the owners of the house will be terrified, and generally they will have to succumb to their demands. The other one that we reported, and which is already a police case that we reported to the Commissioner of Police, and they are investigating. They were demanding as high as 2.250 million naira from the owner of that particular property.